Hey everybody, Jeremy Knauff here with Spartan Media, and today I want to talk about a problem that a lot of small businesses are starting to face, and that is lawsuits related to ADA issues, specifically as it pertains to your website. Now, some of you may have seen the Port Charlotte issue where they were sued. It's actually a government organization, but they were sued, ended up having to pay out a little bit over $10,000, and that's not counting their legal costs or the cost to fix the problem. You also saw Domino's Pizza, Winn-Dixie, and recently there was about 50 colleges in New York that were sued over this as well. So what the problem is there's a clause within the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, that stipulates that you cannot make it difficult for communication. Now, where a lot of lawyers are using this to leverage into lawsuits is somebody who has visual impairment, whether that's completely blind or they have varying degrees of issues with their vision. What that tends to do is make it more difficult for them to understand a website in the same way that you or I would. So, we look at things like the alternate attributes of an image. This is something that's in the back end, it's in the code, typically people don't see it. A lot of people put stuff in there that helps search engines understand what it's for, but they don't realize that it also has an impact on their blind or visually impaired users. So within a screen reader, that device is part of their browser. It's actually telling them what is in that alt text so they can understand the image that they wouldn't otherwise be able to make sense of. But there's also little details in the HTML, things like labels or various other aspects of HTML that help them to understand something that they ordinarily wouldn't be able to because of their vision problems. We're starting to see a lot more of these lawsuits. There was, between 2017 and 2018, about 177% increase. So this is a problem that's only going to continue to get worse. So I see a lot of business owners who are like, oh, well, that doesn't matter, that's only big companies. It's not. It is small companies, it's big companies, it's colleges, it's organizations of, government organizations, it's pretty much everybody across the board. And while a lot of these lawsuits may be targeting larger businesses, a lot of them are also targeting small businesses. So if you don't have your website up to the proper standards, there's a very good chance that, if not today, at some point in time, you will be sued. So it's important to get with somebody who understands what this is and how to fix it, and take care of these problems so that you don't end up with a lawsuit. Now, if you have a website on one of these free website builders or one of these services like Wix or Squarespace or something like that, most of these are complete garbage, and you don't have access to the back end to actually modify the code to fix this properly. If you have a custom designed website where it's actually properly coded and you can get in there and access the files and change it, that's something that if you have the skill set, you can get in there and do it. Or if you have somebody that you work with, you have a web developer, you have a marketing agency, that they can get in there and do this. This can be fixed fairly easily, but it is something you need to address so that you don't end up in one of these lawsuits, because it's going to be a lot cheaper to fix it ahead of time rather than go through a lawsuit, waste a bunch of time in court, and then still have to go fix it anyway. If you guys have somebody you're working with, definitely sit down and talk with them about this. If you don't, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me and my company, Spartan Media. You can find us at spartanmedia.com or 800-333-9888. Or you can find me on social media. I'm a pretty easy guy to find. I look forward to talking to all of y'all, and if you have any questions, just reach out. Thanks, everyone.